Now on CoastTV News.
Stuck in the cold, dangerous temperatures, and the lack of housing options for the homeless.
The wind chill factor is falling fast and furious for tomorrow as Arctic air arrives in full force.
The Seahawks off to the state championship for the high school football titles. How the communities are reacting to these already big winners.
Today marks the 5th day of the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas. How the Secretaries of State and Defense are working to secure the release of all hostages.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Setting up beds for the homeless, but they won't be available until Friday. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with hardships for the homeless here on Delmarva.
Temperatures are expected to be frigid overnight, but cold weather shelters don't open until the end of the week. Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert joins us live now in Milford. Charles, you are at one of those shelters now.
Maddie, I'm here at the Avenue United Methodist Church right in downtown Milford, and they can house up to 13 men here at a time once the weather gets cold. But I was also told that they simply cannot open early. According to the Code Purple coordinator here at the church, they simply don't have the volunteers or the manpower in order to do so. And they do have some of the supplies they need here, such as cots, pillows, and blankets, and even some food options for the people who come here. But I was also told that they are in desperate need of volunteers.
Last year, the same thing happened about 3 days before we opened. It got really cold, but unfortunately, we weren't ready to open. It looks like the same thing is going to be happening this year.
This location here opens up on Friday, as well as all the Code Purple locations across the county. If you'd like to sign up to be a volunteer, you still can on Love Inc. of middelmarva.org under the Code Purple tab. I'm Charles Reinert in Milford, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Charles. And coming off of that story, we are taking a live look outside right now. This is down in Ocean City, and while that is a gorgeous picture that you're looking at, it is a cold picture you're looking at. We want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams to get an update.
Well, Charlie, unfortunately, Mother Nature has very bad and ill timing with this before the shelters have a chance to open, because there's going to be an immediate need for it tonight, going to tomorrow morning, especially. I mean, take a look at where we are right now. It's already cold enough, as Charles mentioned in his report. When it gets cold, it's getting there, and we're already there right now into the 30s. But listen, here's what it actually feels like. In Milford, it feels like 26 where Charles is right now. It feels like 28 in Milton, as well as Millsboro. It feels like 27 currently in Georgetown. What we have is the temperatures dropping along with the winds, and the winds right now are steadily moving at about between, let's say, 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest, and then with the gust up to 33 miles per hour, that's not helping the situation much at all, because we're talking about the wind chill factor here. In addition to that, we have an active gale wind warning in effect along the coast until about midnight. Now, this is talking about 40 mile per hour wind gusts possibly in the area, and you combine the dropping temps with the wind chill, or with the winds moving out of the northwest, a cold biting wind, and because it's actually reminiscent of how this cold front's pushing through and the Arctic air that's immediate behind it. As this sweeps through for tonight, it's going to grab us in a grip of cold that's going to be merciless, at least until we get to, let's say, by Thursday. We're going to talk more about just how low we'll go. In fact, I'm going to give you a hint. We could possibly feel like the teens tomorrow morning. Maddie.
Thank you. New today in Seaford. Police have received reports of an unknown subject calling people impersonating police in Seaford, including an officer and also a Sussex County sheriff. Police say the caller is requesting Visa gift cards and for people to pay a fine. Be aware the Seaford Police Department doesn't request payment of any kind. Police say if you've been contacted by the caller, please let the department know.
Happening tonight, Seaford is having a marijuana public hearing at 7:05 p.m. Mayor David Genshaw says the council is expected to vote on the ordinance. That ordinance plans to ban the production and sale of recreational marijuana within town limits.
Today is Giving Tuesday. Today, many nonprofits and charitable organizations use for holiday donations in the season and spirit of giving. The Brandywine Valley SPCA is one of those groups and says anything helps.
$5 can actually feed a dog for 3 or 4 days. A smaller dog, probably even longer. $5 will vaccinate a dog that comes in. $5 will do a lot more than you think.
And the SPCA has donor match dollar for dollar up to $30,000. That's awesome news there. This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what motivates you to give on Giving Tuesday. Let's take a look at the results.
Take a look at your screen. So far, a majority are saying a personal connection. I know the SPCA means a lot to me. I got my dog from there, so that's my vote there. 23% say community impact. 7% matching programs, 7% tax consideration, 3% of people fessed up it's just to look good on social media.
You know what, though? I think that the personal connection always makes a difference for me as well. If you haven't voted yet, you can still get on to this vote. You can go do that at coasttvnews.com or use our Coast TV mobile app.
Well, a big story on Delmarva. Both Cape Henlopen and Stephen Decatur High School football teams are off to their state championship games this week. Cape Henlopen has not been to the state championship game since 1984, hasn't won since 1989. For Stephen Decatur, a win later this week would mean the first in their school's history. Parents, students, and fans alike are full of anticipation for the big days.
Go for field hockey all the time, lacrosse all the time, soccer all the time, but for football and none of us expecting it is just shocking, and I'm very proud of all of them.
These are memories that he'll have for the rest of his life, and these are moments that will shape these boys forever.
And don't forget to tune in to Delmarva Sports Network coverage of these games. The coverage for both games begin at 6:30. Decatur High School, they're going to play Huntingtown on Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Navy Stadium, and we're going to be up there as well. And the Cape Henlopen Vikings State game, that's going to be Friday against the Sallies at the University of Delaware at 7 p.m. The temporary truce between Israel and Hamas is in its 5th day as families of hostages await word that their loved ones will be freed. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how only one American has been released so far as U.S. officials press leaders in the Middle East for a broader hostage release and a long-term solution to the fighting.
The fragile temporary truce in Gaza tested but holding for a 5th day to allow more hostages to be freed in exchange for Israeli-held Palestinian prisoners. The deal moving ahead after Israel and Hamas accused each other of ceasefire violations. CIA Director Bill Burns is in Qatar for talks on a broader hostage deal, a further extension of the truce, and long-term solutions. That, according to a senior administration official. Administration officials also saying the U.S. has told Israel to avoid significant further displacement of Palestinian civilians in southern Gaza if and when fighting resumes, noting the U.S. does not support Israeli forces moving in the south without a plan to protect the civilians seeking refuge from violence in the north. The first plane of U.S. aid for Gaza arrived in Egypt today. Humanitarian organizations pressing for more help.
There's still a lot of people living among the rubble.
Some Democratic lawmakers are calling for conditions on aid to Israel to ensure the country complies with international law, calling the civilian death toll in Gaza unacceptable. Others pushing back.
If Senate Democrats want to vote to tie the hands of Israeli soldiers as they defend their country against vicious terrorists, I welcome such a debate.
While in Israel, the focus remains on hostages, the family of freed Israeli American Abigail Idan, whose parents were killed by Hamas, vowing to take care of her.
In Israel, people feel that she's the Israel baby. She's the Israeli baby of everyone.
An innocent symbol of all this war has taken. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The Senate's top Democrat said that he intends to bring to the floor for a vote as soon as next week President Biden's request for $100 billion in national security for a package that includes money for Israel and for Ukraine.
In the U.S., loved ones and dignitaries honored the memory of former President Jimmy Carter's wife, First Lady Rosalind Carter, at a service in Atlanta today. Rosalind Carter died on November 19th at the age of 96. Family members and leaders from across the country have remembered her as a lifelong humanitarian and a passionate advocate for a number of causes, including mental health and caregiving.
Still to come, smashing records on Cyber Monday. Just how many billions consumers spent?
Temperatures tumble into the 20s for tonight, feeling like the teens and prompting change from doing outdoor things.
First, new data released about the Chesapeake Bay waters. Historic findings reported by a Bay program. Up next.
16 years ago, we founded Community Bank Delaware with the goal of providing high-quality banking services to our local community. Here you meet with decision makers, people just like you who live in and love this community. We provide the newest banking technologies to our customers, supported by our local team of banking professionals. Our bank serves clients throughout Sussex County, and we continue to grow, all thanks to you. Community Bank Delaware, where community matters.
Hey Delmarva, this is MJ Laughlin with Red Tag Savings at IG Burton Chevrolet in Melford, Seaford, Lewis, and Berlin. Get 1.9% financing on Silverado or Equinox, plus no payments for 90 days. Or take home a new 2024 Chevy Equinox for just $228 per month. Come see us today at any IG Burton Chevrolet location in Melford, Seaford, Lewis, or Berlin, or online at igburton.com for all the details. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Middays with me, April Brilliant. It's a feel-good show on your radio.
April is the easiest way to get through your workday.
She can play your favorite song.
She can help you find your furry friend.
The easiest way to get through your workday is with April.
She really makes you feel special.
Hey friends, hang out with me weekdays here on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3 each day from 10 to 3.
Dancing with your shadows, dancing with your shadows.
I know I used to be crazy. That's 'cause I used to be young. Dance the night away.
1025 WBOC. This is Coast TV News at 5.
According to new data, the Chesapeake Bay dead zone is the smallest on record since monitoring began in 1985. Dead zones, if you were wondering, are areas of low oxygen that can form in deep bay waters that can limit habitats for crabs, oysters, fish, and other marine life. The Chesapeake Bay program says the combination of pollution reduction and below average rainfall historically results in a historically small dead zone.
Cyber Monday 2023 was one of the biggest online shopping days that's ever happened. Americans spent $12.4 billion, according to Adobe Analytics. That means consumers spent $15.7 million every single minute. This year's sales beat initial expectations and jumped nearly 10% from 2022. This smashing Cyber Monday is on top of a massive Black Friday where Americans spent nearly $10 billion.
Canadian cold will come calling in the middle of the night and combined with tumbling temperatures that will make a freezing start at sunrise.
Success isn't just about money, it's about finding your purpose, building something you're passionate about, empowering people, and creating joy for others. We serve happiness, and great success is built on great relationships. That's why 15 years ago, I partnered with County Bank. County Bank believed in my vision. They helped me expand my business to new heights. Their commitment to personalized service, innovative solutions, and strong community ties makes County Bank the perfect partner for my journey to success.
Where legendary locals bank. County Bank, member FDIC.
Help solve the homeless pet problem by opening your home to a new furry friend. The Brandywine Valley SPCA presents the largest mega adoption event in the country. Hundreds of animals are ready to go home that same day. Adoption fees have been reduced to $35 and include microchipping, vaccinations, spaying, and neutering. Bring the whole family on December 9th and 10th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at all Brandywine Valley SPCA locations and participating partner shelters. For more information, visit megaadopt.com.
Doctors, lawyers, teachers, bus drivers, cashiers, librarians, the helpful smile of a helper, a caretaker, a healer, a giver can also hide the deepest suffering. Domestic violence impacts everyone, even our everyday heroes. What Is Your Voice is here to help. Call our helpline at 302-467-3310 or visit whatisyourvoice.org.
I can't get enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love.
Delmarva's Classic Rock. Big 107.7. Over 100 boys and girls basketball teams. 5 days of the best high school basketball talent in the country. 8 games a day. And it's all on the Delmarva Sports Network. The 41st Annual Governor's Challenge High School Basketball Tournament lives right here on the Delmarva Sports Network. From the first tip of the day to the wrap-up show each night, DSN is there. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app to see the action from every court. The 41st Governor's Challenge, exclusively on DSN. Presented by OC Floor and Home Gallery.
The big weather story for us, not only how cold we are, but how cold we'll get for tomorrow morning. Take a look at where we stand right now. It feels like 29, for example, in Lewis. 27, Milton is what it feels like, or the wind chill factor. And it feels like 26 degrees, Indian River Inlet, just as an example. Now, we do have an active gale wind warning that's in effect along the entire coastal region of the Delmarva Peninsula, where we stay. I mean, we're talking about 35 to 40 mile per hour winds, and it's moving really right along with the movement of the cold front. You see, when we're looking at this cold front, take a look at these little triangles. You see the little triangles on the blue cold front here? The pointing part of the cold front is letting you know the direction in which the wind is going. So you see how it's pointed in this direction? Well, that's coming out of Canada, and that's that cold Arctic air, and the front is indicating the movement of that air across a good portion of the mid-Atlantic region, which is why we're receiving such a wonderful dose of cold, chilly air. Temps right now are actually in the 30s. We're at 35, for example, in Seaford and in Greenwood, and it's also 35 degrees right now in Delmar. But the change in the last 24 hours, we are 10 degrees colder, for example, in Ocean City, 8 degrees colder, Georgetown, Salisbury. So that's why we feel like 27 degrees in Georgetown right now, as well as feeling like 26 currently in Milford. For the next dozen hours with our dozen forecast, I kind of like this particular one because it shows you hour by hour how quickly we're going to descend as we eat away at all the donuts, which I'm sure none of us mind that part of the forecast, right? We're going to go from 33 down to 30 by 8 o'clock, down to 27 by midnight, and then we're going to dive well into the mid-20s in the early morning hours, and we're looking for clear skies with our next dozen hours. So let's take a look at what's happening in detail here. For Wednesday morning, we start off in the 20s with some low-level moisture. By Wednesday afternoon, we'll have a shift in the winds out of the southwest, which is going to help us come out of this cold snap and thaw us out a bit, particularly by the time we get to Thursday, with the winds pushing primarily out of the south, and temperatures will recover into the 50s. Now, that's a nice story with a wonderful ending, right? But we've got to get through the minutia of the cold air first and foremost, because we are still watching out for a possible hard freeze for Wednesday and for Thursday, but we will see it taper off by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How bad will it be? Here's the answer to that question. It's going to feel like 16 degrees in Ellendale, Milton, Georgetown, Millsboro, Selbyville, Long Neck. It's going to feel like 17 degrees tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in Lewis, Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick Island. All of those areas. Wednesday, by the evening time, will feel more like the 20s, so to speak. And then Friday will start to recover nicely. So here's the bottom line tonight. 23 degrees, getting colder very quickly for tonight under clear skies. Tomorrow, wind chill in the teens to start off the day. Lots of sunshine. We'll bounce back to about 40 degrees for the high tomorrow. But Thursday, we'll start shifting back to norm for this time of the year, with the winds pushing primarily out of the south. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. When we get to Friday, 56, but rain. Saturday, cloudy, but no rain, or maybe a little drizzle. Sunday, a chance of rain, but at least we will be well above freezing with temperatures in the 40s in the morning time instead of talking that teen stuff. We'll be right back after this.
From gentle ocean breezes to small country towns, Sussex County has it all. That's why you need a real estate company that is familiar with it all. Mann & Sons offers decades of experience throughout Sussex County. Whether it's helping you purchase your forever home or find the perfect vacation rental at the beach. Trust our experience. Trust Mann & Sons.
For over 30 years, the difference is clear. Mann & Sons Real Estate.
This weather's brought to you by
Mann & Sons Real Estate.
There's a joy that comes with building your new home. The progress, the completion, and the move-in. At Berica, we specialize in building strong, energy-efficient homes. Custom built in our factory and finished on your lot. Start online today at bericahomes.com.
You're slipping. Haven't quite been yourself.
You're hiding something. I need the truth.
You're being reckless.
I won't. I need to talk to you about a confession.
Found tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Time to light America's tree.
Kick off the holiday season live in a star-studded event with a show-stopping performance from Cher, hosted by Kelly Clarkson.
My favorite holiday tradition.
Christmas in Rockefeller Center, Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
There's a psycho in my head. I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery. Answer the call, leaving in front. You're the one born to save.
93.5 The Beach. There's a joy that comes with building your new home. The progress, the completion, and the move-in. At Berica, we specialize in building strong, energy-efficient homes. Custom built in our factory and finished on your lot. Start online today at bericahomes.com.
Solo Cup Saturday night. It's an alternative country party with me, Jared. Brought to you by Midshore Recyclers Incorporated. Saturdays at 7 on Coast Country, 103.9 and 106.3.
Sponsored by Ancient Art Stone, where countertops are always a work of art.
The holiday season has many fun activities, and one of the things is decorating your home for the holidays, and we want to see how you are doing that. A couple people have sent us in some photos and videos. Let's take a look right here. Donna McGuire from Ocean Pines, loving our decorations, she wrote. I absolutely love them too. Thank you, Donna. We want to see how you decorate your house for the holiday season. You can send us your pictures and videos to coasttvnews.com/holidayhouse.
We are creeping up on December, and that means the Bless Our Children campaign is in full swing. As you'll see here, the community of Delmarva already stepping up.
We really want to thank the businesses, groups, and individuals who have stepped up to the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000 to Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign.
Here is the Shell Brothers honor roll in order of amounts given in increments of $1,000.
Atlantic Community Thrift Shop, officers and members of Ocean City Elks Lodge number 2645.
Clark & Sons Garage Doors.
Boggs Disharoon Post 123. Eastern Shore Corvette Club. General Refrigeration Company. Caliber Collision.
Carolyn D. Lehman Johnson.
Right locations. Delmar VFW Post 8276. Tony Tank Tribe 6972. Pocomoke Elks 1624. In memory of Stacy Dortch.
Salisbury Elks Lodge. Chagrin Gas and Home Comfort Products.
Peninsula Imaging. ASAP Services. Johnny Janasic. Bob Willie & Sons. Classic Cakes. Ocean City Berlin Optimus Foundation. Tuckahoe Underground. Ocean City Berlin Optimus Club. ABC Refrigeration. Edward Jones Office of Melinda Tingle.
J. Stacy Hart and Associates. Goldsboro Family Foundation. Wheels That Heal Car Club. Freddie Holland. Alan Corman and Son. Ramco Solutions. In memory of Shirley Doherty, David and Louise. FH Fur Plumbing, HVAC Electrical. Delaware Mobile Surf Fishermen. Pepsi Bottling Ventures. Collins Wharf Sod. Pools, pavers, and more. Terra Firma of Delmarva. Eastern Shore Auctions by Willie Benton.
Apgar Turf Farm. Jefferson, Urian, Doan, and Sterner, PA. King Crop Insurance. Historical Vintage Car Club of Delaware. Murray's Residential Services, Archon Training Center, Towers Concrete Products, Mid-Atlantic Transport, officers and members of American Legion Nanocoke Squadron No. 6, in memory of Maurice and Pearl Jordan.
GNS Heating and Air, Dagsboro Paint and Wallpaper, MG Safer Services, State Orphans Board, Great Council of Delaware, Mount Zion Holiness Church,
Burris Logistics, O'Neill's Millswright and Services, Iron Order Motorcycle Club, Garden Bears Landscaping, in honor of Billo Hickman, Shore Fund Tractor Pullers, Moose Lodge 646, Women of Faith Zion Church Salisbury, in loving memory of John Angelus, Wacomico Lodge 91.
Holly Lake Campsite, Carey Insurance Group.
Again, we appreciate all of you stepping up to the Shell Brothers Challenge as part of Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign.
If you'd like to help, send your card and donation to Bless Our Children in care of Draper Media at 1729 North Salisbury Boulevard, Salisbury, Maryland 21801. Or you can donate on our website, blessourchildren.org.
Thank you for helping Draper Media lend a hand.
And together, we can make the holidays this year a special one.
Bless Our Children is administered by the Draper Holdings Charitable Foundation. Delmarva's Holiday House is brought to you by Bay to Beach Builders.
Why'd you have to strike that match? It set my world on fire. I'm giving up on love, 'cause love's giving up on me.
Gonna sound like a winner when I lay you down and love you right. Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Won't stay right here all night. If the good roads feel like creek, we'll rise.
1039 and 1063. We're local, we're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group. Are these little kids being kept as hostages because they have red hair? Next in Sun Edition, they've become iconic victims of the war. But why haven't they been released with the other kids? Is it because their red hair makes them stand out? Then, she lost her dog in a freak flood. Now she says her new puppy's been dog-napped. Who took Hendrix? Watch the next in Sun Edition.
Today at 5:30 on Coast TV.
Right now, let's just run away. All that talk, it's killing me. I wanna say I wish that you never left. Oh, but instead I only wish you the best.
1025 WBOC.
Delmarva's Classic Rock. Big 1077.
The big story is how cold we are and how cold we'll get. Right now, we're holding, and it feels like 25 at the Indian River Inlet. It feels like 27 in Lewis, Milton, Millsboro, and Georgetown. It feels like 26 in Redden, and it feels like 24 in Milford. Now, you combine that with the cold, and we're looking forward to become even colder because of the gale winds that we're expecting along the shore. That's going to make it feel like the teens by the time we get into tomorrow morning. So with that in mind, here's a look at your exclusive Coast TV Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling 10-day forecast. We're looking for a high of only 40 degrees for Wednesday after we wake up to temperatures or the wind chill factor feeling like the teens. After that, we will recover Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we'll trade off a couple of rain days on Friday and Sunday, at least for warmer conditions. And you know what? All things considered, that's a pretty fair trade.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, for more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.